Well, on an honest note, I must say that I'm really sorry for the previous live session that I tried to start, but I could not because some technical glitch was there, and I could not let the people know that whether my audio was audible or not. Like my voice was not audible to anybody, and I actually spoke for continuously 45, 46 minutes, and I like I didn't get any kind of intimation just because most of my subscribers are from India, and now the people who are joining me in Canada, I must thank them first of all for believing in to the kind of effort that I'm trying to do for the kids and the young kids and the youngsters. So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna do the previous session, and we're gonna work on those words which were there in our like particular session number 4. So just a second. We will be discussing all these words. Just a second. Just a second. Yeah. We'll be discussing all these words side by side. We are going to do what? We are going to learn whatever synonyms are there which are possible, like possibly can be replaced with administer. But obviously, the synonyms are synonyms, and synonyms can be utilized in the place, but still their connotation and their nonsense vary depending upon in which context do we use them. So the words may have the synonyms, but can't be replaced sometimes exactly because of their use. So whatever use they have, depending upon that, we're gonna learn something about them. Just a second, let me check that whether the audio is audible or not, and even you can send me a message also, uh, like whether the audio is audible to you or not, so that I can continue with my class, or what we say, the session. Let me just see my audio is audible or not on my channel itself, so that I'll be confirmed, and this time we are not going to do any mistake regarding that. Just a second. Give me 10 seconds or 20 seconds, and then we'll be continued. Okay, like live is shown on my channel. I can see that. Alongside, let me hear it. I hope so. I'm audible. If somebody can confirm me, you can. Yeah, I think it is. It is working. It's working. So thankfully, it's working. Now we will be focusing on the words that we actually did yesterday, but just because of the technical glitch or the audio being not present over there, I have to do that again. Uh, let's do that. Okay, I'll be zooming it for the sake of the people who cannot see the things clearly. Yeah, here we have our first word that is there on the screen. You can see that very clear. I will write them in the capital letters so that you can see the spellings clearly. ADMINISTRATOR. Traitor. So basically, whenever a word ends with OR, we usually use it for a person who does that particular action. For example, we have a word called actor. We end it with OR, and then we what we do is, like when it ends with OR, we say actor. The person who acts would be an actor, that the action is performed by that person, and that's how we call it. Like whenever the word ends with OR, like in that scenario, we can say that a particular act is done by that. Or here in this case, the particular act is of administration. Okay, administering somebody. If somebody is administering something, then we can call that person to be the administrator. So administrator is a very beautiful word. Like if we talk about the past historical time, or if we'll go back in the past, then we will be able to recognize that there were lots of kings, and there were lots of rulers, and the queens were there as well, like who ruled the world. So they were also the administrator, depending upon the periphery, or depending upon the kind of area they were covering, the region, or to a certain extent, we can say the whole country. They were the administrators. So we have administrator presently also, but they are in the form of the government. Now in the government we have a lot of administration, like depending upon the kind of administration we have, like public administration, or the people who supervise others. It can vary from place to place, and it can vary from work to work. Then how do we see these people? Like if we talk about administrator, what is an administrator? Administrator is a person who controls a business. He can control a business, and any kind of business it could be. It can be a food stall, it can be anything. It depends upon what you supervise. If you are supervising your life, then you are the supervisor of your life. That means you are the administrator of your life. So if you are the administrator of a country, then you are the administrator of a country. So you can be the administrator of a company, you can be administrator of an organization. It can be NGO, it can be non-NGO kind of stuff. Like it can be anything, like governmental or non-governmental, whatsoever it is. But you can be administrator of that. But depending upon what sentence we make, administrator doesn't suit with every case. Like we simply cannot say that I am the administrator of my company. So we can say that, but still it looks like too bossy. We need not to be bossy in any like in every case. So anyway, we need never to be bossy in any case. So what's a sentence here for as an example that is given over there? That is, everyone in the store did whatever the administrator asked them to do. So at the store, somebody would be administrator, like somebody who would be supervising them, and that whatever that person was saying, like the people were listening to that, and the employees were following the same guidelines the administrator was giving. So administrator can be like in different forms. Somebody who is more expert in managing things can be your manager, can be a manager. You can call your manager to the to a certain extent a manager. Sorry, you can call that your manager to be a certain kind of administrator, just because he administer your duties also, and he sees what you do wrong and what you do right, and try to guide you up. So that's why the manager can also be an administrator. So administrator must not be stuck with one place or one particular business, or a kind of work. Then if we say like there is another word which you can replace administrator with, depending upon I'm again telling you the context, that is supervisor. Supervisor, the one who supervise others, or one who tries to guide others and supervise and tries to check out whether you're doing your duties right way or not. Okay, so that can be also the administrator. There is another word, a beautiful word that can be replaced it with, like that is controller. Okay, can be a controller. The person who controls the things, okay, would be called as controller. Okay, so one who controls your activities, one who controls your directions of a work, then that person is controlling you. So one who controls, here also we have seen that one who controls a business. So controller can also be a word for the administrator. And the one actually administrator has a lot of duties to do, and depending upon that one, you can call the person like that. The one who gives you direction will be a director. Okay, the one who gives you directions will be a director. The one who administer you would be administrator. But all of them have similar duties. Somehow the similar duties, like when you are in the field of the direction, then if you are directing somebody, that means they have to follow your guidelines. So administrator also does the same kind of thing. So that's why all these words are coming in the same lane. Okay, they all fall in the same category. And even we know that sometimes even I said that earlier, that government also used to supervise us. So govern or can be a governor. Okay, the one who govern. Okay, governor. The one who govern would be a governor, and the governor is the one like who will govern the whole thing. So who will be the administrator of a certain place, though the duties and the kind of rights are very controlled one for the governor, but still the governor would be a governor. Back in India it is like that, but I don't know like what exactly what we see, what we see in the case of the governor in other countries too. So the one who actually oversee, the one who have actually check out what you do, what you don't do, that person would be your governor. And then the people who conduct your things, or who is a conductor, we can say that would be a conductor. Or we, if we talk about the conductor of a bus, the conductor of a bus is going to decide that one, that how the people are going to sit and how they are going to behave, and when the ticket has to be taken and when not the ticket has to be taken. In Canada we do not have any system like conductor or something like, because you have to just tap on the screen, or sometimes you have to put some coins in the machine, or you have to actually show your ticket up and on, you have to scratch your ticket up. So lots of things are there which are different from our native country, but still like the word is the same. Like conductor is the one who will administer the activities inside the bus. Or conductor can be in the field of science we know that what is conductor, which conducts electricity, like good conductor, bad conductor, like depending upon that one, we make things to be the good conductors and the bad conductors. But that is actually in a certain different sense. So it's quite in a far relation with the word administered, but still it is like that, depending upon in which sentence do we use it. Then there is also executor. Executor is the one who will execute the things, who will actually put things into the action. So that person would be called as executor. The one who will execute the things will be executor. So executor is having the duty to uh, let the things be done. And that's how we see that relation with executor and the administrator. So the people who will handle the other people, that can be like handlers also. Okay, we can call them handlers, the people who handles. So handler would be the one who will handle the things, but it's very much quite I would say that, sorry, it's quite an what we say, an informal word to be used. Like for example, you're talking to a friend, or you're talking within your colleagues, depending upon, like if it is not a business environment, you should use that one. Otherwise you can't say he's a handler of that thing. Or you can say, but obviously it should not look that unprofessional. Okay. And then we have operator. The one who operates would be operator. The one who is the operator would be administrator of that particular stuff. I'm trying to relate it to the main thing. So I think there are lots of like words you can actually correlate with that, like coordinator. I would just write, I won't write them up, you should know that. Like the person who is a guide is also an administrator in a certain sense, he will guide you up. But exactly we can't replace them, but administrator is mostly related to those activities where we are administering everything line by line. And we are telling them the rules and the regulation, the policies that we have in our mind. So that's the word administrator. Now let's move to the word affluent. A very beautiful word. Like I spoke about that yesterday. I don't know whether I'm audible or not. Still, let me just check it out once more. Okay. I hope. Yeah, I am audible. So yeah. So the next word is affluent. Affluent, I was trying to tell yesterday, was more for the person who is quite influential in wealth. The person who has a large amount of wealth would be affluent. And even I was trying to tell that like what is a form of a word, and the previous word we had was a noun form, because that is the word that
That's a word that would be used for in place of a name of a person. Administrator would be John. Administrator would be Nancy. Administrator can be um, the person's name, obviously. So if we are replacing it with the person's name, then definitely it's a noun. And even it is a noun, it's a common noun. Like any administrator can be any person can be administrator, whether male, female, or whichsoever gender it is. So like they can be administrator. So same thing is like applying to we are applying to the affluent. Affluent is what is the pronunciation? Affluent. And even in the bracket you can see that what exactly its pronunciation is. And the system that we follow in this case is IPA system, and IPA stands for International Phonetic Alphabet. So accordingly, that system, like affluent, first of all, let me tell you what's a form of the word. It's adjective, even it is written there. ADJ, it stands for adjective. And what adjective is? Adjective is a word that which qualifies a noun or a pronoun, like um like it means that it will add something as a quality or a virtue or a kind of what we say, that value to that. So affluent is that word. Affluent means somebody who is rich, somebody who is very much prosperous, somebody who would be affluent? The person who is prosperous. Prosperous, that means he doesn't require somebody's help, or who is happily living his life, would be affluent as well. The person who is wealthy, obviously he will be happy. So the meaning given over there is wealthy. If someone is affluent, they are wealthy. Obviously they are wealthy, they are rich, that's why they can afford everything in their life. So as they can afford everything in their life, they have nothing to be worried about. They can go for club, they can go for golf, they can go for any game, they can enjoy everything, it means to say. So when they can enjoy everything, then definitely their life will be prosperous. So that's why I mentioned that the first synonym for that one is prosperous. The person who is wealthy would be prosperous. Also the person who is affluent can be well off, would be from a well off family. Obviously well off means obviously having the satisfactory means of living, or having all those resources which are required for that. Okay. And other like synonym for that is rich. Somebody who is rich in everything, like rich can be used for the knowledge, rich can be used for your money, rich can be used for resources. Rich can be used for anything, like the person can be affluent just because of lots of things. So most of the time it is used for the wealth. So that's another beautiful word you can use, opulent. Opulent. Okay, opulent is also one of the synonym for the same. So well to do is also one of the synonym for the same. You can use that one, well to do. He's from a well to do family, or he's a well to do person. He doesn't require somebody's like help or something, and he helps others. Just because he's a well to do person, he has a lot of riches, and he tries to help people through the means of money, through the means of resources that he has. So then there is another beautiful informal word you can use, is moneyed. Okay, moneyed. It's moneyed itself means like the person who is quite, he's a moneyed guy. He's a moneyed guy. He's a moneyed guy. That means he has a lot of money. He's the affluent one. Affluent one. So that's why you can use that word. Moneyed is really, really a beautiful word. Then I would say that affluential. Affluent, we made a word from affluent, that is affluential. Affluential, there would be the same it's a one of the word which is made from, like, by adding the suffix to that. Ial we have added as a suffix to that, and we made a new word, affluential. Affluent would be wealthy. Affluential would be like having a lot of wealth and all that stuff. So but again, the form of the word will remain adjective in all these cases. Okay. So the form of the word would remain like the same. The person who is loaded with money, like he is loaded, actually we can simply use it for the person. Like if you're talking about a certain person, and you know that you both the people who are in the conversation, they know that the person is very rich. Yeah, I know that he's very much a loaded person, he has a lot of money. So you can simply use loaded. Okay. Is he loaded? Loaded means like does he have all those resources and all that stuff? So you can say that. So one more beautiful synonym for this is well heeled. Well heeled, like he doesn't have any problem. In that case also you can use well heeled. Okay, he's a well heeled man, she's a well heeled woman, or she got a lot of money. Okay, so that's what it means. So another word from well actually comes into being. I'm feeling that most of the words are from well only. Well fixed. Well fixed also you can use to replace affluent. Affluent, basically I would say that you should use it in the same form. He's quite affluent. He's so rich, like in that sense. People in the city are usually more affluent. Here we have used a comparative degree because we like actually because the voice was not audible yesterday. I would repeat that thing. More and most would be used in case the syllables in a word like next to it have more than two syllables, or sometimes the two syllables. Like syllable itself is the kind of sound like a vowel creates. Affluent, affluent, like we have at least the three one, so that's why it's used more for the comparative. Otherwise we cannot say the affluenter, affluentest, we can't say that. So here we have more affluent and most affluent just because the syllables we have in this case are more than two. So that's why we are using it like that. So more affluent, most affluent. It can be used like that. Here we are comparing the people of the city and the people of the town, or the people of the country. Sorry, people of the town or the people of the city to the people of the country. A country here itself stands for a village. Okay, it stands for a village. So right, then village people will be having less wealth in this sense. Like what it means in this sentence, it means that like the village people have less money and the city people have more money, just because they are indulgent lots of businesses, a lot of business practices. They earn a lot of money, so that's why that's the case. Like here the example for that. And we were discussing about the formations also, like how the structures are made of the sentences, and how what should come first and what should come in the middle and the last, and what are the different things that we should be aware of. So we will be discussing that in a separate class also. Like right now we are focusing on the kind of word list that we have because of the fourth session, and hope so that I'm going to come live again for the next session. There I would be just fixing it up for the different other like required things for speaking English. I would be talking about that too. So here you have the next one. Like the next one is audit. And as per the word audit is concerned, I read that word during my what we say graduation. When I was doing my graduation, I was doing my graduation private, as a private student from Punjab University, and there I actually read that word in auditor and comptroller general, something like that I read about. And auditor and comptroller general is a certain firm which actually checks out all the finances and all that stuff. So and even they talk about lots of checking and all that work. As far as the superficial meaning or the basic meaning that I got to know from that. But here we have the word audit. Audit is a very beautiful word. Audit, from that one, it's quite clear. Audit means check. Okay, so when we say audit, audit means check. And here the word is in the form of a verb. And what is a verb? Verb is an action. Like it can represent a state of action, or can be an action itself. So audit is an action here. Audit is related to lots of things. To audit means to inspect. So we will talk in the same form only. We are not going to actually make other words also, which relates to that one, like in the form of a noun or the adverb. We are not forming that. We are talking in the same form only, and we're going to have the synonyms in the same form only. Okay. So audit means, I told you, check. Like if somebody audits, obviously in the connotation, and even in the context of the statement, we have to see that whether the word is right or wrong. Okay, the person who audits is the person who checks, audit, check. Okay, the one who checks something, or what he checks is financial records. Most of the time the financial records from a person or a business, like it's like that only. Like audit would be like that. Audit is basically related to the checking of the financial statuses and then the kind of financial status of a certain company, and checking out like how many taxes do they give, how many taxes they avoid, and what kind of things do they do that legally or illegally, if they are indulged in any of the illegal activity or not. So they check it out properly. Okay, so here in this case we have the different words. Checks can be replaced with examine, because examine word is already existing in the line itself, in the meaning itself. Inspect, so you can use the word inspect also in that case. Inspection, the one who does the inspection would be an inspector. The one who do the examination would be examiner. So examination would be a noun form, examiner would be again a noun form, but the word used for a certain person who does the examination. So same here, examine is a verb here. The one who examines, the one who sees every nook and corner of the thing, every point of the thing, then the person would be examiner. So the next word, the person who not the person, another action which can replace the word audit would be to review. When we review things, we audit. When we audit the things, we examine. And we examine the things, we inspect. Okay, so these are the synonyms which are coming in the line itself. And then when we audit, we also do assessing. We assess the things. Assessment, obviously, whatever your assessment, and like the education system that we have in India, like if we talk about the CBSE board, like the central board, then there what we see, what's there, they have summative assessment, they have formative assessment and all that stuff. So assessment is to to check. Again, audit is one of the word which is coming as a synonym for that. Okay, and then comes like I told you that we are checking every nook and corner of that one, and that's how we call it reviewing the things. And another word which can replace review or the verb review would be analyze. Analyze, if we analyze things, we are doing every minute check of that. So that means we are seeing what are the benefits, what are the loopholes, what can be the suggestions, what can be the implications, whatsoever it is, what are the inferences of the things, everything we are checking out. So we are auditing as well as we are analyzing. Okay, analyzing, and we are scrutinizing the things also. Scrutinizing is a very beautiful word. I read that in some law book. Like scrutinize, would be to actually find out each and every bit of it, to see out like whether there is any problem or not in a thing. Is there any problem or not? If there is, then we see that, you know we check it out, and then we actually try to find out the solution for the same. Yeah, so here thereafter, like we have another word that's verification, or we can say that verify. Then another word which can actually replace audit is verify. Verify means something we can to check it or compare with something else, so that we can actually verify it whether the facts are clear or not. Checking out the facts is verification. Factual information, if the facts are right or not. So if the facts are right, then definitely we are verifying the things rightly, we are auditing the things for the sake of checking the factual information into that. So that's what a verify means. So another synonym that comes into place for audit is survey. Like if we do the survey, like usually we hear that word to write an example. Usually in ELTS examination, students try to write that in a survey we found that, or in a survey it was found that this or that number of the people were fat just because of these or that kind of diseases they have due to the irregularity in the exercises or something. So survey means to actually again examine, to find it out, and to see through the things, reading the magazine, reading through the resources, reading through the books, and going through the online resources and everything, to so that they would be calling it a survey. Then they have gone through multiple number of the survey, multiple number of the resources, and they have got to know that, finally they got to know that yeah, that's right, that's wrong, that's something bad, that's something good. So that's the survey. That's like surveying the things from different resources. So survey is also one of the word which can replace audit, but audit has its own significance. Let me tell you, financial record and all that I told you. So it's like evaluate. uh, when we evaluate something, we give value to that thing, and we are trying to certify the thing, whether it is right or wrong. So evaluation is also a word which can actually evaluate, actually is a verb form which can replace the word audit. Evaluated. So these also can help you out to write an example when you are trying to say that you have found something, or it has been found somewhere. So you can use that word. And or another beautiful word I would give you for audit, the last beautiful word I would give you for that, there would be so many others, but I'm giving you those words which can be actually utilized in the form of a sentence. Investigate. Investigation used to be like of a thing which is in the limelight, and even something is to be corrected from the legal perspective. So we investigate the things further, and we when we find out information about that. So that's how we get the meaning of investigate, or we try to do investigation. Investigation is a noun form, investigate is a verb form. He investigated that like the government had had a wrong role to play in the previous scam. So he investigated that, or a public newspaper has investigated that there was something wrong on the part of the government when they actually did something in the scam itself. So that's the thing. That's how we can actually replace the words with, depending upon the use. We have done the three words, and then next our next three words. Let's move on to that. So another word we have is automate. So spellings of automate, Automate, automate. So from the word itself, it must be clear to you that what exactly it can be, like something which is on auto mode, or like automate is a verb form here. As I can see, it is a verb form. Automate is to make something automatic, something which can be digitalized, something which can be mechanized. Okay, that would be automate. So automate a company means, what's the meaning given. Firstly, we will see that, and then we will see the synonyms that can be that we can actually use in place of automate. To automate a company means to install machines or computers to do the work. To automate a company, that means we are going to install the machines for that, to make it automatic, so that all the things will be done by the machines and the computers rather than by the human beings. And obviously it is going to affect the jobs. Obviously it is going to affect the employment. But what it is, automate means to digitalize the things, or to make it more towards like machine use of machinery is lot, like mechanics, science of mechanics would be used here a lot. So mechanics will be used. So now that's a meaning, like using the machinery to actually make the things done faster, or make them done automatically. So that's the synonym for that. But what are the different synonyms? That's a meaning for that, sorry. That's a meaning for that, that's a basic meaning for that. And what are the different synonyms for that? Let me just tell you one by one. First synonym that you can actually replace it with is mechanize, as it will be in the noun form. Then you can replace it with automate. Okay, automate means mechanize. Mechanize means obviously make it mechanical, to make it more towards the machines and the computers. Now the second synonym for automate is robotize. Okay, obviously we are using what we are using like automate as for like helpful for using the machines and the computers to do the work, to do the work faster for a company. Same way we are robotizing the things. If we are going to robotize a company, to robotize a company means to install machines. You can use that one as well. To robotize means to use more of the robots in place of human beings. Yeah, but I must tell you one thing, that robots cannot have feeling, robots cannot have emotions. So sometimes we have to deal with emotions also. Automate means like to do things faster, and the streaming of the things would be done faster. So it can be replaced with streamline, streamlining the thing, streamline. Okay, I'll write it. Stream, EAM, stream line, LINE, streamline. So streamline itself stands for obviously keeping the things intact and have the swift process of the things to be done. So in that case we can use a streamline, streamlining the things or automating things. So then computerizing, from the computer word we got the computer here. Yeah, we got that one. So computerize something, like make it computerized, then it means to automize it. Like computerize, sorry, computerize. Computerize. Computerize means the use of the computers to make it automatic, to make the things faster done. Like that case, you can use it. Next synonym for that, I think the fifth number would be digitize or digitalize or digitize, you can say, making it very basic and systemized. Another synonym, systemized, systematized, or you can say that systematize would be much better. Systemize can be systematize. Systematize, that means there is a system. Systematize would be there is a system which will be followed and the things will be done by themselves itself. You need not to worry about them. Then the system is going to take care of that, rather than you will be taking care of by doing the laborious work or doing it on your own manually. It will be done automatically and would be done systematically, or because you have systematized the things, systematize the things. Okay. So another informal word can be modernize. I'm not going to write that one, but here we are talking about automate the things. So that's why. And when talking about the verb form only, that's why. Like optimized, optimize, optimize would be again a verb form for automate. Optimize, make them optimized with the new technique. So making it based upon like remote control. Remote control can be used in the form of a verb, remote controlled. So make it remote controlled. More of the to remote control the company means to install machines. Okay. When the bank remote controlled everything, it started installing ATM machines. That's how again it will be like that, like self controlled. You can replace it with self controlled. I'm writing small letters now. Please take care of that. Self control or self operate. Self control is not appropriate. I would say that self operate would be much better in that case. Self operate. So as a company is on the mode of becoming self operated or is self operating, the company is self operating so that all the things can be done faster. You can use it in any way. So that's done. Automate is done. I hope that the word is clear and you are getting some synonyms in that. the form like I'm trying to tell you, and I believe that you're enjoying also. And I believe my most of the subscribers are from India, and I tell them that please do share this live session later on when you will be awake in the morning time with people, so that they may get maximum benefit of that too, like how to actually use different other words in place of that. Okay, now when it comes to the use another words, we have the bribe. Very very corrupted word. What we say, bribe. Bribing somebody is like greasing somebody's palm. So we should not do that, and we should not take even the bribe. If we are taking the bribe also is wrong, then it is giving also is wrong. Like if we are giving the bribe is also not appropriate. We should not provide anything in for the sake of the favor. you know Greasing somebody's palm is also not right. So yeah, what can be the synonyms for that? We will look at them, but firstly we will see the what's the meaning of that. Like what bribe stands for. To bribe someone means to illegally persuade them for a favor with money. With the money, they have said that. With the money, that means you will provide them the money for the sake of getting your deals done. You will provide the money so that what favor you want will be done. That's illegal stuff. So to bribe someone means, what exactly it means is to illegally persuade. Illegally, that means which is not legal. Persuade means to convince. Let me tell you, convince. If we are persuading somebody, we are convincing them. So when we are convincing them, then obviously we are bribing, we are trying to convince someone. It's like obviously it is right thing to convince someone, but by the illegal means, if you are doing it, that's not right. So to do bribe someone means to illegally persuade them for a favor with money. That's the meaning. Then we have the sentence for that. The judge was bribed so that she would set the suspect free. So the judge was a female judge here, and she was given some money so that she would leave the suspect. Suspect is the person who we have the suspicion on. Suspicion means suspicion is doubt. We are suspicious about. If we are suspicious, that's an adjective. We are suspicious on that. Okay. Suspicious can be again for a person on whom we have the doubt. So we are doubtful about. So whomsoever was under the suspicion had given the money to the judge so that she may not actually take any action against her. So that's the thing. So bribing is wrong. I believe we should not do that. What are the different synonyms that we can replace it with? First one is pay off. Have you paid off him for that thing? Have you paid off them? Like it's again more of the corruption. Okay, have you corrupted the person, or like I think it's wrong to use it somehow. Corruption can be used, but still it would not look that professional or that formal, academic. It won't look academic. Then have you incentivized the person, or they are actually more in the form which are actually right things. So hush money. So bribe is also known as hush money. You can keep in mind that hush money is bribe. We should not give the hush money to anyone. Okay. It's in return when we are favoring some when we are getting some favors and we are returning the favors, we are giving the money, that is hush money. And even in that case, like it's like a kickback. Have you provided him the kickback for your thing? Like what you have achieved, is it by the legal means, or have you provided him the kickback? Did you give him the kickback? That means, did you give him the money for that? Or have you provided him the sweetener? Sweetener is also like obviously the other person is going to be sweetened by the kind of money that you would be giving the person. Or are you greasing his palm or greasing the palm? Okay, so greasing the palm is also one of the synonym for that. Okay, and have you provided him with illicit payment? If you have provided him with the illicit payment, that is also not right. If somebody has given you that money which is not legitimate, obviously that is also bribing you. Illicit money is that one, illicit payment is that one. So one beautiful word for bribe is uh, payola. Payola. Okay, you can use it. Payola. Did you get any kind of payola for that? Payola, that means bribe itself stands for bribe only. Then I think that that's these are the some of the synonyms. If you have any other synonyms for that, you can just send me in the message itself. Like backhander, you can say backhander also, like you're providing it with the backhand so that nobody would see it. You're trying to give him the money or something, that that is also for the bribe. We should not actually give bribe to anyone. I think we should not be bribed by anyone also. So the next word is corrupt. Very beautiful word, but somehow very dangerous word as well. When because the things become corrupt also, the files in the computer becomes corrupt also. Corrupt means they are going to go against you, and they are going to actually do something illegitimate in your life. So corrupt can be any file, corrupt can be any person, corrupt can be the like it's like we say bank corrupt. Okay, so same way, when that's there, then obviously the person doesn't have anything. Corrupt would be the one who would be dishonest. Okay, if someone is corrupt, they break the law for money or fame. Like for the sake of some money, I told you the bribe. If they are getting any bribe, then definitely that's also a corrupted thing, or it's a kind of corruption somebody does. Or for the sake of the fame also, like if somebody's giving you something, or doing some breaking of the law. So main thing that comes into play, corruption is like more related to breaking of the law. If you're breaking the law and you're trying to get the some of the means done, or you want your things to be done, then that would be corrupted thing. Okay, and here corrupt is what? Corrupt is adjective here. He's a corrupt person, he's a corrupt personality. You can say that he's a corrupt personality. So when we say corrupt personality, corrupt means obviously the person who is not on the good lines, who is not actually following the law, following the order of the company, of the company, of the country, of a certain place where he works. That's how it is, like how we make the meaning of it. Uh, just a second. Let me have a sip of water. Yeah, let's move further. And we got the synonyms for that. Like, what are the different synonyms for corrupt? The person who is dishonest would be corrupt, and dishonest can be used in place of corrupt. The one who is dishonest won't be using honesty as the means of life, or as a means of living a life. He would be using the dishonest means, and would be dishonest with the people also. That's why the person would be dishonest in life. So dishonest can be used in place of corrupt. Okay, the person can be unethical, the person who is not following the ethics. So ethics obviously are those guidelines, those principles, which are always telling you to be principled in life. You have good guides in your life, but when you are unethical, you are not following the right means. So that's how we say something is which is unethical is corrupt. Something which is immoral, like which is going beyond the morality, so that would be immoral. Somebody who's not following the moral things, moral obligations, then definitely the person is immoral, or immoral activity would be the corrupt activity. And another word which you can replace corrupt with is venal. Okay, venal. Okay, and there is another word called decadent. Decadent, CADENT, decadent. So decadent would be the word used in a case when something is decaying down, or like more on the stuff of like decaying in the form of the values and the principles one should carry. Then the one word is wise and one word is vice. So there is a difference. Wise means evil. Wise means somebody who has a wisdom. But here for corrupt, what we're going to use is a very beautiful word, that is wise ridden. The one who is wise ridden would be more towards like doing the bad things. So wise ridden would be that. Okay. So wise ridden would be a corrupt person. He is a wise ridden person. He is a corrupt person. He's a corrupt personality. He is immoral in nature. So the person who is immoral, we usually say that the person is rotten, having the rotten value. So rotten can also be used for the person who is corrupt. He is a rotten guy. Okay. One more form. One was immoral and one is amoral. Amoral would be the synonym for corrupt again. So amoral can also be used to replace corrupt again. And if you have other synonyms in your mind, you can write them down in the like comment section for the word when you're gonna see this live session in the morning time. And the people who are watching it, or who are my new subscribers, they can also let their young kids and the youngsters and even themselves, they can actually comment also for the same. Okay, so depending upon the situation, the word has its meaning. I must tell you that I must actually repeat it again and again, so that you may not do that. You may not take me in any way wrong. So corrupt can be a fraudulent person also. The person who deals with the fraud and does the fraudulent activity would be a fraudulent person. Fraudulent person would be doing the fraud, and fraud is also a corrupted thing. So if you do the corrupt thing, then definitely you are doing the fraudulent activities. You should not indulge in the fraudulent activity. He's a fraudulent person. If we say that he is a fraudulent person, he does a fraud. Okay, he's a fraud. We simply say that he's a fraud. He's a corrupt person. So then you can use that one. He's a tainted one. Tainted. Sorry. Tainted. Tainted. The person who is tainted would be corrupt person. He is a tainted person. He is a corrupt person. He's a degenerated person. Generation, obviously, when the generation occurs, then generation occurs for the good of the human beings. Degeneration, we move back from generation to the uncivilized means, then obviously that is degeneration. Degenerate means to become corrupt, or degenerated can be used as adjective here. He's a degenerated person. Okay, we should not use a degenerated means. Okay, so he's a spoiled person. Spoiled means he has spoiled means, or it can be used in any other context also. Like if somebody is not morally right and somebody's indulging in bad activities, we should save our kids from the spoiled kids or spoiled company, like bad company. If somebody is in the bad company, is a spoiled kid, he'll become a spoiled kid, or the spoiled youngster, or a spoiled person. The person who is a spoiled person will be a corrupt person, and that we should avoid such people's company. One bad apple actually rots a whole bucket. You should remember that thing. And that's what actually it is. um, like, who is the person who is a corrupt would be corrupt from the soul itself, and the person who can be sexually bad also, or a kind of what we say, is dealing with eve teasing or something, would be called as pervert, perverted person. he will be a perverted person, he would be a corrupt person. Again, that's one of the synonym for that one, but situation is different. Okay, situation here is different. Like pervert is usually we use in the case when somebody's not morally right and behaves very bad with ladies and young girls. Yeah, that is the pervert person. He's a pervert, we say that. Somebody like can have, you know another word for that is iniquitous. That's the last word I'm trying to tell you about corrupt. Iniquitous would be the word which will be used for a person who is unjust, who is not doing anything with a justified means, who is sinful in nature. Iniquitous. You should remember the spellings: Iniquit, OUS. That's it. OUS. Iniquitous. Iniquitous would be the one who is immoral, who is sinful in nature, who is corrupt, and who is wrongful, who is vile. Vile is also one of the synonym that you can use for corrupt. There are lots of synonyms which you can actually use, uh, like villainous. I will just speak it out, or so that you can just check them yourself. Villainous, or can be unscrupulous, or can be dishonorable, or can be malevolent. Malevolent is a word that I actually read in one of the cases in my present studies. Alongside, I also have studied that in my one of the English books. Malevolent. So repressible can also be a word. Can be a heinous. Also can be a word. Heinous, the person who is indulged in very much bad activities. He's doing a heinous crime. So heinous crime. So that's what actually it is all about. The corrupt word. Now the next word is dispose. Dispose is a very beautiful word. Let me tell you, today I'm actually dealing with the words in little more detail, just because like it was Sunday and I had some time. Usually it won't be like that. I must tell you that before. Okay. But the thing is, basically, you should know about the basic meaning of the word, and if some other words comes into your life and you're trying to replace them with the previous word, then definitely it will enhance your vocabulary, and you're going to learn lots of more words. Okay, and I hope that you're getting what I'm trying to say. Right. So the thing is, like next word is we have that is dispose. We are focusing on the word dispose. What exactly it stands for is to dispose of something, means to get rid of something. That means when you're trying to something is very much you dislike. If something is like you don't like about, then you want to dispose of the things. Dispose can be used in many form. Okay. Dispose usually is used to be like we are disposing something is we have the word disposable glasses. Okay, disposable glasses which can be disposed of. Dispose of itself means to get rid of something. So I think basic meaning has to be clear. First of all, then dispose of something can be called as to get rid of something, to eliminate something. Okay, so that you may do your duties faster and swiftly. You will be able to do the task and things can be done faster. So here dispose, you can see the picture also. The person is disposing something into the garbage bin, or the kind of bin that is present there. So, what are the different synonyms which can come in place for that? Dispose here is we are doing an action of, he's doing the action of disposing the thing. So it's a verb. As a form, it's a verb, and we're going to talk about the verb forms for the same. Okay, he dispose of the can. Yeah, he's disposing of the can by throwing it into the recycle bin, or we can call a garbage bin to be the recycle bin as well. So, just a second. Okay. Now, To dispose of something means to get rid of something, and to dispose of can be replaced with lots of words. I'll be talking about many of them. Okay. When we dispose something, we are eliminating the things. Eliminating means we are trying to throw it away. So we are eliminating the things from our life. We are discarding the thing from our life. Discard. Okay. One is discord, one is discard. So there is difference. We are talking about discard here. Discard means to just let the person out of somebody's company, to discard him from the group, he's if he's not behaving properly. Okay. So very basic meaning which can actually clarify the meaning of dispose to you is remove. Dispose of, actually usually it is dispose of. We usually use it for remove. Remove or get rid of, you if that's there itself in the meaning itself. Get rid of. Get rid of, that means rid here means that if something is attaching to you continuously and you are getting the rid of it, that you are getting you're getting yourself eliminated from that, or you're eliminating that thing. Rid here means to eliminate the things, get the rid of it. So that's the meaning of the dispose. And we have other synonyms for the same also. Like various synonyms are there, like abandon something. We are abandoning the thing. Abandon, we can abandon a place. We can abandon somebody's company as well. We can abandon some bad qualities that we have also. We for example, if we are having the bad value of smoking, if we are smoking every day, every now and then, or if we are not doing exercise, I'm abandoning, like, not to do exercise. I'm abandoning the smoking. I'm abandoning the alcohol. I'm abandoning something which is bad for my life. My life. I'm abandoning like backbiting or something. So that is also the word. Or relinquish is disposing, is also giving someone or giving up something. Relinquish, you know, Q word can come in this place. Q, it's a Q. Quench, wish. That's relinquish. So relinquish can also be replaced with dispose. Okay, throw away can also be a synonym for that same, and can be toss. So tossing it away, cast away, cast ashore, cast off, cast off, to leave something, or to dump. She dumped me or he dumped her. For that sake, like, you should understand that dispose of, to get rid of somebody, that's to dump someone. Okay. To relieve someone, or to scrub someone up. You can use all these words for the word dispose. Now the next word that we have is headquarters. Headquarters, like from the word itself, it's quite, yes, which quarters? The headquarters. So headquarters can be like those quarters which are the leading ones, or the building which contain the people who are the bosses. And the headquarters usually used for the people, or the it's a building which can be a main office, can be a main office. Okay. Can be a main office, like, where obviously, because it's a building where the bosses of the company work. Bosses, that means the manager, supervisor, and the heads, the leading heads of a company live, or they look at the work and everything. So lots of employees would work under that, underneath that. And here, headquarters. Where are the headquarters of Domo gas station? We don't know that, but actually they have their own branches, and wherever their branches are, and like, there they will have their headquarters. So in the downtown, obviously. So headquarters. Headquarters can be the main office. I told you the main, where is the main office, or you can replace it with many of the other word. So he dropped the long route to the headquarters because it was a nice day, because of the nice day, because of the nice weather. The person wanted to enjoy the weather, and that's why he dropped the long route to the headquarters. That's how the things went. So he wanted to enjoy that weather. That's why. So here we have the another synonym for the except the main office. You can use the central office for that. Okay, central office can be also a word for that. Central means the main central branch of the same. And then we have we say that for the army we use it base. Okay, base where it exists, like from where it starts. The like center of that one can be center also, can be the center, can be the hub. Where is the hub of this company, that company, you can say. Where is a main center, you can use it, or you can use central hub. Central hub, I'm trying to make the words from the given words that I have actually made already. Where is the central command of that, you can use central command also, you can say, like where the commander sits, or we have the lots of commanders there. Okay, where is the principal office, where is the head office, you can use them in any way. Like principal office, that means the main office, or the head office, principal office. Here we say the principal office for the office of that person who actually handled the whole school. Okay, so head office, you can say that where's the head office. Head office is also the word for that. And where is the central location, you can say that, or where is the core of the company. Where is the core of the company itself means, so where is the center, the main center of the company, or the nerve center. You can say that the nerve center, nervous system of the company, nervous system of the company. So the control center, where everything is getting controlled from, that's the main center from where the guidelines and everything comes, and even like whatsoever are the things that existing that comes. So that's it. Then thereafter we have the word incentive. Incentive, I actually talked about that before, but that was in a negative form, like when we are bribing someone. But here incentivizing someone is something different. Incentive, when we give incentive to someone, it motivates a person to work harder. Got it. So when we incentivize someone, uh, then it means that we are trying to motivate the person to do something more. So how we will motivate? By giving him some returns or some kind of accolades or the prizes to the person. So incentive is what makes a person want to do something more. So if we're gonna provide something kind of motivation to the person, like you can get something like a chance of winning a prize, was incentive to get people to play the game. So people were playing the game just because they had a certain sort of incentive in the form of a prize, like in the form of a prize, they will get a prize out of that. So then they will be definitely doing hard work for the same. Okay, so incentivize can be like when we are incentivizing somebody, we are motivating someone. Incentivize itself, incentive is a kind of noun form. Okay, so incentive, like how, like if you have gotten the incentive, um, then definitely you have been given the motivation. So motivation will be the noun form for the motivate, motivation. So what's your motivation behind keeping on to do the hard work? Like obviously, sometimes it can be money, sometimes it can be like those people for whom you are doing the hard work. Sometimes it can be your dreams which are unaccomplished, and you have thought of that in your childhood. So that can be incentive, or motivation can be a motivation for you. So another synonym, second synonym for incentive would be, yeah, like a kind of stimulus. Stimulus would be something, um, which will be provided in the beginning itself, and then thereafter the person is going to answer the things faster by himself and will be able to answer the things by himself. Then stimulus is like kind of giving a prompt to someone. So it can be any kind of encouragement. Incentive can be in any kind of encouragement. We are encouraging someone, so that's why encouragement can also be replaced with it. But we have to say that in the form of the encouragement, we give the money what we give, and that all depends upon person to person, the statement to statement that we make. And then we have another word in place of incentive, that is impetus. Okay, very beautiful word, impetus. Impetus is also like a kind of motivation, encouragement. It's not kind of instigation. We don't instigate somebody, but we put provide impetus to someone to do something. Like the needs of the kids are the impetus for the parents to do the hard work. So that's what it is. Like can be inducement. Inducement is also one of the synonym for impetus, or can be synonym for incentive. Okay, so when we induce something into the brain of someone, or when you give something in the form of the inducement to someone, then definitely the person is going to try hard and will be trying hard throughout the life. um like throughout the life to actually achieve the goals. So that's what it is. Then in the negative sense, it can also be used like we provide incentive in the negative sense. Earlier I was told you the bribe, and also provocation. Like when we provoke somebody, the person will take some action against you. When you're trying to provoke someone, it means that you're trying to actually instigate someone, and you're trying to encourage someone to take some action against you so that you can take reciprocate action against the person then. So incentive works as a catalyst. Catalyst is a scientific word, I must tell you. Catalyst usually we use for a like making the reaction faster in the two particular like when there is any kind of chemical reaction occurs. We put the catalyst into that just because we want that reaction to have the faster action. So catalyst is something which will boost up the person to do something, you know. Which incentivize means giving a drive to the person, giving a drive to the person that he will do the things faster, or can be a boost to the person. It'll work as a boost. Boost is a secret of our energy. Like we remember that, or I remember that Sachin Tendulkar, who is still the best player for me in the world. Like Sachin Tendulkar used to have that particular advertisement. Boost is a secret of our energy. Boost means here we are trying to motivate the kids to actually bring something by using the word boost. Boost means to actually there is a different boost also. Let me tell you, BOAST. Boost here it means like to show off. This means show off, and this means to motivate. So boost here means the motivation or the kind of instigation, not instigation. Instigation is a negative word. It's a kind of catalyst that works for the kids to actually drink milk, to try to like encourage kids to drink milk. We had that certain sort of thing like Horlicks. We have other like most of the time we used to eat it raw rather than actually putting it into the milk itself. So Horlicks used to be that one. Bonvita used to be the one, and this also Boost is also the secret of some kids' energy. So that's all. Like that's all about this word, and I think there are other words that you can actually remember, which could be inspiration. Can be what is the inspiration behind that? Inspiration means what is the incentive behind that. But let me tell you that depending on the upon the context, we are going to use all these words, and I don't think so that they all are to be used in we can't replace all of them and at the same time we can't replace them. So remember that how we are getting the inspiration can be from anything natural that is occurring. For example, a bird flying in the sky will give you the inspiration to fly one day in the sky like a free bird, and not depending upon anybody, like even your parents. You want to be independent in your life. Who is your inspiration to become independent? Like obviously your parents become independent when they got to know from your grandparents that they need to be independent as well. So it depends upon like kind of sentence and then what we say or what the context are we talking about. So persuasion is also one of the inspiration, like we can talk about. Negative word for that is also one of the word, that is temptation. The last word for the today's live session is infrastructure. Very beautiful word, infrastructure. Let me tell you, infrastructure is something that we require to run a company, and without good infrastructure, a company fails, or even a school fails if they don't have the proper infrastructure. Okay, so infrastructure is the base on which somebody or somebody's success depends upon, uh, um, or we can say that on which the success of a company or a school or anything depends upon. Okay, so what exactly is the infrastructure? That we can see that like is a collection of services. It's a group of services needed to run a school or a society, or sorry, not a society or a business. Any business, any society would be run on the on infrastructure. If the infrastructure is good, then everything is good. Like give an example over here is like power lines are important parts of the city's infrastructure. If the power lines are not there, then no electricity is there. Whatsoever electricity is required for different purposes is possible only through the power lines. So power lines are the most important one, and they are based and then like are the most important parts of the in city's infrastructure. So city's infrastructure should have power lines. They must have power lines. So infrastructure is also like having the synonym like different other synonyms, or we can say that here the power lines can be the foundation, foundation. They are the foundation of the city's infrastructure. Like city's foundation is depending upon the power lines. We can say, sorry, we can say that city's infrastructure depends entirely upon the power lines, or that means a city's foundation depends upon the power lines. So different synonyms depending upon the context are there here as well. Like the first word for that is framework. Cities framework is very important, and when we say the framework of something, I was asked about the framework of something in English language. Like people said, "Well, what is framework or something?" Like I must tell you the infrastructure for that. So it all depends upon the that, like what kind of things that we have for teaching English. Like what are the different rudimentary skills that are there? That those are known as the part of the framework. And foundation, the base. Framework is the base. So base of something can be called as a framework, and the base is also the infrastructure. So sometimes the infrastructure like can be used in a certain way that like we're talking about the collection of the services on. We are not talking about the starting point. So we can't use it in every sense. So there are lots of other systems that work for like better than the infrastructure. Like infrastructure can be the architecture of something. Architecture architecture would be like on which the whole thing like depends. Architecture is the composition of a building. Like what are the different rooms in the building are, or what are the different rooms in the like we have for the things to accomplish properly. Like for a school, if I take an example, then definitely the core thing is morality. Morality, that should be a team for morality, and which will teach the moral things, moral duties to the kids and all that. That's not somehow the part of infrastructure. That should be the part of the education system. But that is the infrastructure of the education. I would say that. So metaphorically, we can speak in that sense. But the building that we have for the school and the mottos or the kind of good guidelines that are written on the walls of the school can be sometimes work wonders, and they can also be the part of the infrastructure. The playground, where we have some rides for the small kids, the kindergartens. We have some basketball court, for the debates, for the playing, for different other purposes. On the plantation drive area, that's also the part of the infrastructure. School buses, that's also the part of the infrastructure. The benches, what kind of benches are there, if we have provided them the AC services in the room, that's also the infrastructure. Then if we have some like cameras installed for the safety of the kids, then that's also a part of the infrastructure. So all depends upon the infrastructure, what kind of establishment we have. So architecture, that all depends upon the architecture of the school. We can say the skeleton 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 can also be the word for that. Skeleton, or the network, or the system, or the substructure for that. These all words can be used to tell, what exactly this infrastructure is. There is a second page for this particular session number 4. We will be talking about that in the next live session, and I hope that you are going to watch all these words, and you're going to use, and you're going to see all those words that I spoke as the synonyms for these. And you will try to use them in the form of the sentences. And what is the best method? Like, there were some people on one of the application, they told me that, like, or asked me about it, like, what is the right way to actually go for actually practicing English. Let me tell you, it's all you need to do. What is that you all need to do is you have to start. So once you will start it, you should start it with writing down something on the paper can actually sort it out a lot. Nowadays, the biggest problem, or the biggest issue that the youngsters and the people are facing is stress, or stress and anxiety, but the basic solution that I found in my life about anxiety and stress was to write them down on the paper. More you will write on the paper every day, if you will write your personal diary, let me tell you, you're gonna purgate your soul. You're gonna relieve yourself a lot, and you all will be saved from the kind of stress and anxiety that you have. Every day when you will write something, that will become a fundamental infrastructure actually for saving you from the kind of worries and the tensions that we have in our life. Because you are going to get something, uh, like out of your box, out of the box here box, I'm talking about your brain. And once it is out of your brain, you will be relieved. So the first thing that you're gonna start with for improving your English is writing down something as in the personal diary that you have, and or the public diary that you have. You can share it with your friends and how I did it, and what I did. And you can tell it to your family members also. I'm writing down things, and you can read them out. Like, I'm unable to actually express myself in the form of the words. You can read my things up from my diary, so that you can let me know that what's going on and whether it is right or wrong, because I'm unable to share it in person with you. Some people are extrovert, some people are introvert, and depending upon the kind of the person is, then the person has to actually take the steps, what I believe is. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to write things down, and second thing is you're going to listen things up. Okay. listen to the podcast, like Apple Podcast or whatsoever podcast you watch, hear. You hear them out and hear them very, very minutely and very closely, so that you may find out like what exactly the person is speaking and what's the kind of pronunciation the person has. If the person is rightly speaking, then the person is going to be really, really helpful to you. And if the person is wrongly speaking, also again, the person is going to be really helpful to you, because you will be able to analyze that what's wrong and what's right. You're going to examine, you're going to audit that thing up. Okay. You're going to audit that thing up, and you will be able to do it right. So except that, what else you should do is you should start reading a book. Whatsoever book you get of your interest, start with your interest only. Do not start with something which is filled up with the numbers. I don't like the books which are filled up with the numbers, but somehow they are most beneficial books which are filled up with the number. We need to jot down things out from the written down digits, you know. So those books are very much helpful, but I don't say that you need to start with that. Start with the comic magazines or the comics that you like. So comic character that you like, write something about that character, why you like the person, why you do this or that, like whatsoever. Like you read the newspaper, why you read the newspaper. When you do the work, what kind of work do you do? You have to write all these things down and then read the book that is of your interest, I must tell you. So there are lots of authors that you can go for. In my childhood, in my young days, I was reading the Chetan Bhagat. I really like his writing. And I used to I like to read the books which are more on the motivation side, which will give us the motivation, particularly like the book I'm like really waiting for, eagerly awaiting for, is like Atomic Habits. So then I will start that one right now, right at the moment. Whatsoever book comes in my mind, I try to pick it up from the library, which is very much a beautiful thing about Canada, that you can go to any library and pick up a book and read it out. So that's what I really like about it. And another thing is your textbooks. Try to read the textbooks as you are interested into that. Don't say that I'm not interested, and try to find it out, that figure it out, like what is the basic theme of the particular chapter that you read from your books, if you have those books. And if you got the books at the school itself, you're gonna analyze the things. What I'm trying to tell you is writing down, listening to the people, reading it out, and obviously speaking it out to the public also is very important. Don't be an introvert. Always, if you are introvert, then definitely try to like purge your soul by, or purge your feelings by writing it down. So more you're going to keep in your mind, more you're going to keep in your brain, then obviously more will be your stress. So don't keep it in your brain. And people who say that, like, if you're going to share information like which is so personal and so important to you, and if you are open it up to the people and they are going to take your dreams away from you, it's not like that. You're gonna live your dreams only when you're gonna share information, because the information is to be shared. And if the information has to be kept within our body or within our soul or within our brain, then nobody will be wisdomatic or would be filled up with the wisdom. So wisdom has to be shared. Wisdom is made to be shared. Share more information, be a good speaker. You're gonna get to know that, like, whenever the right time comes, you will be able to actually rock it on. So that's it for today. I would expect that you are going to comment onto my this live session, as you're going to see that in the morning. And the people who are actually in Canada who have subscribed recently, then please do comment in the comment section about what you feel about this and what you want me to actually do more into that. I would be more than happy to actually get to know about different suggestions that you're going to give me. Thank you very much.